It's moving slow. Here we go. And we're live.
What's up? Good morning, everybody. We're back. It's
Hey.
August.
It's August. Wow.
Can't believe it. We are here again. It's been a while. We back. It's probably been like 4 weeks. We took some time off to enjoy
We
our
did.
summertime, be with our families.
So enjoy.
Take some time off, exactly. And school is ramping back up. I know some people have already started, either without kids or kids have already started. So we're back. So we thought it would be amazing to bring in another special guest with us to talk about school partnership, family partnership, and school partnership with the community and at home with families. So welcome, Nitza. We are super excited to have you.
Hi.
Hey, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited for this conversation.
We're so
Yes,
happy
we
to
are
have
too.
you. So very
Tell
excited.
us more about you and introduce yourself to the people.
Yeah, of course. So I am Nitza, she already said. I'm a family engagement and parent communication strategist. My work focuses on strengthening communication, trust, and relationship across homes, schools, and communities. I specifically help schools bridge that gap of not having families in the building anymore. And again, building that trust up because oftentimes families feel unincluded in a lot of communications and activities, and I want to strengthen that. I want to make sure that both feel valued, both feel seen, and are working together as a team, because that's what they are. Families and schools are working as a team toward the goal of supporting this child to be the best human they possibly can be.
Yeah.
So and
One starting question, maybe like a differentiator that I would love for you to let us know. What is the difference between like a family partnership and a community partnership? Because some people might use that interchangeably. Like, is it the same thing or what's the difference?
they are interchangeable in some respects and completely different in other respects. So families and schools are part of the same community. So when we're doing community outreach, we are trying to get the family, the people, the parents, the everyone involved in our school and the children. When it comes to strictly community, we're talking about the schools connecting with different organizations around to maybe donate things for the school event or for the school, for the children, maybe school supplies for the beginning of the year, or to ensure that they have a connection, that if a family is going through maybe food disparities, they don't have food, that they can connect them to that organization, or even fun events like the library would be a community engagement component, because there's a lot of activities going on there. School children need access to computers. So if the school and the library have a strong partnership, it's helping the community as a whole.
Yeah. And then how can schools identify community partners that maybe families already know and trust? Like, how does that work? Because I know I've been in experiences, sometimes I'm in school and they partner with organizations, but families are like, why would you partner with this organization? We don't even like them all like that. Or, they did X to our community. So, like they're tearing down houses in the neighborhood. Why would you partner with them? So how can schools identify those community partners?
That's a great question. To be honest, you have to start with building that partnership with the families, with the in your school system. If you don't know them, then you're going to make that misstep and go and have an ally with an organization that is literally doing harm
To your people.
Yeah.
is right, which I'm not saying the school leader or teacher isn't doing it with good intent, because that is oftentimes what it is. But if you're not actually listening to the community, getting them in, getting them involved in making those decisions, in those connections, then we're going to make a misstep. But if we can get their voices heard in the building, and planning and all the components of the school, then we're more than likely going to partner with organizations that, one, either already are supporting the community and want to continue growing that network, or two, are getting different people involved that can and haven't because you just didn't know them, but Sarah's mom knew them, and now you have that connection. So if we can involve the families in this planning process, you're more than likely going to get a community partnership that's going to enrich everyone involved.
Yeah, no, I like that. I do feel like, just like anyone, we're human beings. We want to be involved, right? You want to feel wanted, and that includes parents as well. Like, I want to feel like the schools are reaching out to me, especially now that my son's about to start kindergarten, that you are reaching out to me, that you are like wanting to hear my voice and then actually listening to it, not just like, okay, this is a checkbox. Like, we asked all the parents, but then did you actually listen and implement that feedback? I do think is important.
Yeah, I think especially I know you mentioned your son is starting kindergarten, which is so exciting. I think we also need to teach parents how to engage with school. Just a lot of teachers didn't get, or actually school leaders, everyone didn't get a formal course on family engagement. Families haven't gotten that either. Right. So if we can get them to support both sides in the learning and in this partnership and what that looks like, especially at a young age, because when your kids are first entering this school for the first time, the parent is also learning from the first time how to parent a child in school. So if we could teach them those skills at that point, then that partnership is going to last until they're out on college graduating.
Yeah. So go ahead, Sherann.
No. I was going to say, so you said we don't get that training. So what does that look like? What does it mean to train somebody to be engaged as a family?
That's a good question. So I want to clarify if I'm understanding your question correctly. You were talking about as the school like teaching the family specifically, not the teacher side, or both.
Yeah. So I mean, whatever you mean, but I also mean, I mean, whatever you mean, but seriously. So as a former school principal, we wanted our families to know the best ways to engage with us. Yeah. So we would send out emails, handouts, reminders to make phone calls, don't block our numbers, all the things, right? Yeah. As a community member who's engaged with the school and their community because their kids and families go there, where are y'all hosting meetings? Right? At the community center, in the church basement? Like, what do you guys do to make sure that you guys are advocating for your kids and families and communities? So I think it can look a number of ways. So I just wanted to say that. So we could start with one and move to the other, whichever one you're most comfortable speaking on.
Of course. We could start with the families themselves and helping them develop those skills. Yeah. So what I know you mentioned a whole bunch of different communications that families get. And sometimes they start, like you said, blocking these numbers because they start feeling overwhelmed. It's just like, I'm getting the same exact message from 10 different platforms. And that is a lot. So that leads to blocking. So maybe if the school assesses which ones are they actually listening to, let's cut out the rest. The top 3 or 4 that they listen to, it's what they're going to use. And then telling the families like, hey, we do send a bunch of information on these different platforms. Pick your top 2 that you're going to consistently look at and delete the rest, because you're going to get the same information and we don't want to overwhelm you, but we're trying to ensure everyone gets reached. And also when it comes to training, when it comes in a youngest age, so kindergarten, first grade, is doing workshops or some type of fun event where it teaches them and tells them how to parent. What are the best modes of communication with the schools? Why is attendance important for your child and for you as a kid, as a parent, to ensure they're here? Not just the legality part, but helping them understand that the literacy rate that's going on and where it is for the adults and how that translates to the child. helping them understand that their partnership in talking to the teacher and the administrators and everyone in the school is going a benefit for their kid, and show them the data. It's just like, right now I'm not, I don't want to misquote any data. So I think it's like an 80% success rate or something when the parent is actually truly involved. And that doesn't mean just showing up to a baseball game or a trunk or treat. That means truly engaging with the teacher, asking questions, supporting when it comes to discipline, not feeling when we're calling you to say, hey, little Danielle was acting up today, and I'm not sure what's going on. And you could say, hey, she wasn't sleeping very well last night and all of this. But yeah, we're going to work on that together. It's helping them understand when they're getting a phone call home, it isn't an attack on their parenting. It is a school, a teacher asking for support from you, the parent, and we will give you support back.
Yeah, you said so much in that I love. I think one of the big things is that assessment piece. So as a behaviorist too, assessing right now, I love his kindergarten right now. There's one online platform that they're like, that's where you're going to get on to pay. That's where the announcements is, where you fill out your forms. So I really love what you said about schools really assessing, okay, we may have all these different platforms, but where are families actually engaging? Do we actually get that feedback? Because it would be overwhelming to be like, I got to check my email. I got to check the school app, then I'm getting X. I would do that too. That's not my response effort. And then what you said too about that teacher and parent partnership, I feel is super important, that shift, because I know what I've seen with me working with just, being called in for unwanted or challenging behavior, and then me calling some parents. Some parents feel like I'm only getting called when something bad is happening. You all should be able to manage. So I'm not responding anymore because the only time you call me is when something bad happens and I don't want to hear it, or I'm at work. I can't answer the call. I can't take any more time off. Like it becomes a negative, like a trigger, where it's just like, I don't want to answer. I don't want to build a relationship. And, parents do become defensive, because if all you're calling me is to tell me all the bad things my kid are doing, I don't want to be there either. Or I don't have that relationship with you where you can call me and be like, yo, Scho, what's going on with your kid today? What happened? Is there anything I need to know? But if we don't have that relationship,
that energy,
it's kind of like, who are you? You don't know my kid. Like, you met him 2 days ago. Like, don't call me, So I think too, like, how do you build that relationship? So I think on both ways, like, what are some tools as a parent you can do when the school year starts, but then also as a teacher, what you can do, or as a school in general, like if you're a principal, to really build those relationships.
Hi, friend.
Hi. Hey. He's just like, I need to get some love before I start school.
Kindergarten superstar. How are you, special guest? Hi, special guest.
Are you going to wave? No, it's all right.
Yeah, we love it. We love to see it.
Yes.
So I wanted
real life.
I want to add to what Scho says, because one of the things, just so you know, we also parent during this live. A lot of things can go down. The question that I have for you is something that was addition to what Scho just said about the way the parents engage. So the truth is, right, some of the parents can only do so much because poverty, because single parenting, because language barrier. There's a lot that could be happening. Or one of my favorites is research by she's a Harvard professor, Sarah Lawrence Lightfoot. The book is probably 20 years old at this point, but it was called I'm gonna look it up, but it was about being a ghost in the classroom and ghost in schools. It was just very that's not the right framing. I'm gonna get the name of the book, but
you're good. Whatever you're explaining sounds very interesting.
So basically, like our memories of schools, the way we were treated as parents, live on in us. And when we go back into
Mhm.
schools,
Mm-hmm.
we shrink. We sit in the kids' desk like, yes, teacher, yes, principal, instead of having that authority and ownership over our kids' education and learning. So that's so like we don't know that. And so that's also a part of the way I think parents don't know how to engage, because I hate to call it trauma. Not everybody had a horrible schooling experience, but it lives somewhere in us. It's ingrained.
Mhm.
Right. And so
Yeah.
we bring that into the classroom when we go back. I'm going to drop the link in the book, but it's a, I don't want to call it old research, but it's older research, but it was pivotal in my understanding of the way to engage families and parents in schools.
Yeah, it makes sense. Even no matter where you are in your experience with school, the schools were designed to produce workers to be at the end of the day. Like, yes, to educate us to read and write and math, but to also understand what the bell is. That means like we're switching activities or shift to listen to direction and all of these things. So when we're going back into it, it makes sense that we're on. And it was 12 years of our lives. So we fall back into those same routines unintentionally, whether it was traumatic or not. Like I had a great school experience, but when my first year teaching, when my principal called out, I was like, am I in trouble? And then I was just like, no, I'm good. But back to what you were saying, I wanted to touch on a few things that you both said. When it came to the negative call homes, one of the things I preach and for both administrators and teachers is your first conversation, your first touch point with this family, it should be a positive. So take the first month or first quarter, because I know in high school there's a lot of kids, to call, email, talk directly with the family and introduce yourself. Tell them, hey, I am your son's or daughter's teacher. I'm really happy to have them here. Give them a couple of human elements to yourselves, like, hey, yeah, I'm a dog mom, I have 2 kids, whatever it is, to connect and ask them about themselves and their family structure. That is a way we can start building trust. Because if you guys know each other on a human level rather than a teacher family, different silos, then you're going to be able to move forward together. And then ensuring that if there's a negative call home, like at the beginning when you're introducing yourself, make sure they know that you're not calling because you're, again, judging them. You're calling for support in the same way for if they were to call you. You're each other's support systems. So I'll give an example of what I mean by that. In my second or third year teaching, that's when I was really starting to emphasize family engagement within my classroom and learning all of these skills. And one of the most pivotal relationships I had was with a student. And one day, student's family, he broke a computer after I had told him 3 or 4 different times, you have to be careful. Do not grab 4 computers, just grab one. All of these things. I know it's your job, but so he didn't listen. He dropped the computer. I had called before me and the family were, again, I made that positive call home. I messaged them on JoJo every so often. They messaged me. Like, it doesn't have to be every single day. I want you guys all to remember, it doesn't have to be every single day, as much as you guys can. But I called them later that day and told them what happened. And they were like, I'm sorry that happened. He's going to be losing all his privileges at home. Ms. Jimenez, can you also make sure he is not doing Fun Fridays for the next couple of weeks? Because we need to be on the same page with this. And I was just like, okay, great. And then that's what happened. The next couple of weeks came. We checked in on each other, his progress. He started doing a lot better in school, paid attention to directions. And they were like, same here. And he got his privileges back. It was a partnership we had developed throughout the year, because that happened in like February or March of that year. And it just shows how if you build that trust from the beginning and work together, you are truly being a team, not I'm calling and then the parent was just going to be upset because I called. No, she knows I'm looking at your child holistically, just like I make mistakes and you make mistakes and we do great things, so do your kids. So let's support each other on that. Now, when it comes to the different dynamics, and maybe because they do not have the financial means or the times or the language, that is, we have to meet them where they're at. We're trying to find translators. I know most districts have a system that has that. If not, you could even offer for the parent to bring their own translator. Hey, like, I would love to meet with you. And also say Google Translate was my best friend for families I did not know the language for. So I'd Google Translate what they said and vice versa. Sometimes I'd be like, hey, this is what Google Translate said, and put it in their language, and they would correct me, which was great because I learned a little bit. But my point is, try to meet them where they at when you can. And sometimes that means that you're going to have to maybe do a virtual meeting at 8 o'clock at night because that parent doesn't get out until 7:30 at night. And I'm not saying as a teacher not have boundaries. Definitely have boundaries. I know we all suffer with wanting to give our all the time and not having it. So try to do as much as you can to leave school at school. But when you can make those adjustments for those families, they'll see you at that partner, someone they can trust, someone that they're trying to work with, and they'll do the same. Because if you're supporting them and their family, they're going to support you in your classroom as well.
Yep. Because the family, if they know your family. And then Vincent, thank you for being here. I agree. I think a part of it, of what Vincent said, was we have to find unique ways to empower parents, making them aware that they are a critical variable in ensuring their child achieves. And that is so important because I do think we're not working in silos. We are a team, and it should feel like a team, like a family, and empowering, just like we want to reinforce our students. We got to reinforce our parents. So I love it how you said building that relationship. And I know Phelan in the comments said the same thing, that she was just talking to an AP yesterday about just calling parents to check in with them, because I do agree. Sometimes they don't know, can I speak up? Can I ask the school for help? Like if I am struggling with rent or food insecurity, can school help me with that? Is there a counselor, or, are there community partnerships that the school has that I didn't even know about, to help me with that? But if we haven't built that relationship with each other, it falls apart.
It can.
100%. Oh, sorry. 1 second. Hey, Mr. Taylor, we used to work together. Back in the day. You're such a wonderful person. I miss your energy.
Hey, Mr. Taylor.
Mr. Taylor, we love to hear it. You have said so many amazing things. I just need you to know that. Like, I'm like making a list: communication, human connection, silos. Like, you're dropping gems like left and right, right? Like, if I had a drink, I'd be taking a shot every time you dropped a gem. Okay.
So I wish I had that with coffee.
Listen, it's almost done. We're almost done. So let me ask a couple of things. And so,
of course,
when parents are listening into this conversation and they're like, okay, well, my school has a rigid approach to the way they communicate with parents, or we don't have that problem at my school. So what can we learn from each other? So it's really my question. So we have private school parents, we've got urban district parents, and I think a lot of my lens is from urban communities, right? We have a lot of Mr. Taylor said, hey. I think my wondering is, what can we actually learn from each other, right? Like, so for our parents that had no problems calling their principal's office and going to make that appointment and have a seat, like, what is the skill that you have, or what do you know that some parents don't know, where we can make those connections and advocacy for our children and protecting their brilliance?
Yeah. And maybe one step with that, if we know our parents in our school community are not doing that, how as a school, or maybe then too, Sherann, something you can answer to as a principal, do we develop a system to help empower our parents to get to X, to be able to get to where we want them to get to?
Yeah, I think both sides can learn from one another. Like a private school child, their parents are usually helicopter parents, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they all have to learn sometimes how to take a step back, how to let their kid fly or fall on their own. Oftentimes the parent, those helicopter parents, those private school parents are there to catch them and fix every mistake and fight and advocate for them. But I've been talking recently to some university professors in admissions, and they're having issues with those parents letting go. Like they'll have parents in the interview behind the screen with the parent, with the kid, and it's just like, you need to learn from the other settings of like how to let the school and the teachers handle those issues. And again, let your kid make a mistake. On the other side, the parents that aren't very vocal, not because they don't want to be, it's just they don't know how to be. We can learn, it's just like, you are the advocate for your parent and for your child. You do have a voice. You can ask questions. You can make suggestions. You also have to listen and not take defense in a way of like, hey, if your teacher says your kid might need to be evaluated. That's not a bad thing. Like in the other settings in a private school or more affluent areas, if a teacher does that, oftentimes they're not fighting back. They're just like, oh, wait, okay. They take that in and they send the kid and they'll do the things because they're viewing it as like, hey, I need to get my child help. And on the other side, we need to view it the same way. We're trying to get our child help and support. We're not saying your kid is dumb or lacking anything. We're just saying your kid might need glasses. Your kid might need extra time on their test, and that's going to help them succeed. But it is our responsibility as educators to make those things accessible and help them understand, because we know school. We went to school. We literally got a college degree in this or some type of certification to understand how the school system works. What are all of these things? But these parents haven't been in a school, 20 years, 10, 20 years, they forget. So like if we can reframe it and maybe create a guide of what does it mean to advocate for your kid? What are some questions you could ask? What are some things you need to understand? What is an IEP, a 504? Break those things down for them, because we tell them like, hey, we're going to have an IEP meeting, but what does that actually mean?
Right. And not a whole document, because I know even with IEP meetings, there's the parent rights, which like that's a 40-some page document. Like what parent is realistically reading, and by law, we have to hand it to them. But then there's also like, can parents read? Like even in Cleveland, where I am, I think one of the latest statistics was like the illiteracy rate of adults in Cleveland is like 70% or something crazy. Like, so I'm handed this 40-page paper or packet. Do I know what it means? Do I know what's inside of it? What are my rights? I love what you said of like, is there some sort of summary page we can create of like, here are the things, here's the summary of each of the sections, or do you need help? Can you watch this video of an educator talking about what this document is, why it's important, and what's in it in video form, so I can listen to it instead of reading to it, which kind of goes to my next question to Sherann too, and then answering you to Nitza as the principal. How exactly, Ashley, girl. And I know what's in the document and what's like, and I have never read that 40-page document. Like,
I skimmed to the highlights of what I need to know.
Unless it's like a little juicy book that I'm reading and I'm reading it personally. Like, I'm not reading this 40-page legal document. Like, no, thank you. But as a principal too, how do you distinguish?
I froze, guys. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. We can hear you fine.
Perfect.
How do you distinguish those parents that are like labeled as disengaged, right? So how do you distinguish between a family being disengaged and just you as a school or your staff using engagement strategies that are just not accessible and meaningful to those families or to that community? Like, how do you assess that?
That's a really good question. And the first question is, no family's disengaged. They're engaged in something, somewhere. It might just not be you. So So the first thing is, look at the kid's profile, first, who's the kid, right? What's going on? What have they shared? Have you connected with the team in the school, the counselors, et cetera? Do a little digging, find out what's up, right? If the kid's attending regularly, something's working, right? At least from the school perspective, something's working, right? So then we just need to connect on, why we can't get a hold of these parents. What did we need from them that they couldn't provide? Because there may be a story there, right? Like we mentioned, parents work night shifts, hospital shifts don't match school schedules, right? Like there's a lot of things that our parents and families do, maintenance workers, city workers, folks out the door at 4 a.m. Who got their kid up? You know what I mean? So now we're talking, if the kid's old enough, we're trusting that our kid got themselves up into school. So I can't talk to you. I'm on the truck route. Like, what do you want me to do? Or my construction team, and I'm the foreman, and I can't have my phone on a construction site. So also, what do you want me to do? And so I love that technology has us connected, around the clock now. I'm not saying you open your email at 10 o'clock at night, but I am saying if I answer you at 10, schedule the email to go out to me. Do you know what I mean? So that I'm going to catch it at a time that isn't going to get buried in my inbox. There's so many tips and tricks we can do now with, the way tech is designed. So that's the first, that's like the third thing actually. But the first thing is no families disengaged. They're engaged somewhere. We just got to figure out our way in. That's the first thing. Second, the kid has a name and a profile and a story. Know it. Because that will also help us have those conversations with parents when things aren't going right, especially. And they elevate the ones when they are going right. It was like, oh, I heard you guys took a trip. They came back and told us all about it. Their essay was all these things and told us this really rich story about your family connection when you guys went to da-da-da-da or your road trip this summer. You know what I mean? Like, that's also saying I'm reading and I'm hearing and I'm knowing. Right. And then so the last thing, and not the last, there's 100 more again, but the that I will highlight right now is you need to know, y'all don't throw tomatoes. Cultural identity is huge. Okay.
Yes.
Who are you serving? Do you know your community? Is this the way that they engage with people? Speak their language, please. And I don't mean like actual language. I mean like who's your community? Who are your people? Right? Like don't any kind of way, because let's be honest, as a Black woman, right, with parents with high standards, when we were going to college, my parents went to college, my parents' parents went to college. Fourth generation, you see what I'm saying? And
yes.
Still get asked. I got asked in college at my lovely PWI, oh, what's it like being first generation? I don't know.
Yep, I got asked that too. I don't know. My one advisor asked me that with my mother present, and I was like, "Yep, he getting cussed out." Immediately, my mother getting cussed out.
Do not make assumptions
expeditiously.
Like that.
Yes.
It's just like what? So how are we even? So that's really the thing, and we're not all alike. And first generation is perfectly fine, but you need to know that. So maybe you do need to help this parent navigate some systems that they are unfamiliar with, like FAFSA. That's a big one that trips families up, right?
Yes.
They're transitioning from elementary to middle school or whatever grading system. Some districts are K-2, and then you go to 3 to 5. So when the school transitions are happening, how do I know what school to pick? Is there a talented and gifted I need to look for my kid? Oh, my kid is struggling in science. I need to sign them up for some extracurriculars. That's why you want to hold them after school? Oh, they're going to do science club. Great. Oh, my kid is excelling at logic. You want me to put him in the chess? You know what I mean? Like, oh, unfortunately, my kid has to come home and get their sibling off the bus. Oh, no problem. Here's an online platform that I'd love them to tap in after school so we can do Minecraft together or something like that. So we can get skills up. Talk to the family. Talk to the people who you're talking to, right? And there's no family that I have ever met that did not love and care about their kid. I know stuff is wonky, and I know you're like, that mama was a little wonky, but she's wonky for a reason. You know what I mean? Like that somebody cares and loves about this kid. All right, we're not all perfect, but don't talk to me any kind of way.
Yeah, exactly. You throw out so many important things. I love it.
Yeah, and I love Phelan's point, engage versus involved. Like, this is so true. Is so many parents are engaged, or like you said, they're going to be engaged in some sort of way, but it may not be they're physically showing up every time. Or you want to hold a meeting at 11 a.m. because you need to talk about X, I'm in the middle of work. I'm not getting fired. I have had parents who have told me, like, I'm not answering calls, not because I don't want to. I can't anymore. I can't. Like, I need this job to sustain my family. So you're like, I blocked. Like one parent was like, I blocked all the school numbers. Like, because it wasn't sustainable to me. And I love Ashley's comment of leaders must be cultural competent. I'm going to change that word up just a little bit, because competent sometimes to me, I have a hard time, because teachers are like, well, I went to this training and I learned about X. Like, I'm culturally competent. No, you're not. Especially like there are certain cultures I'm never going to be culturally competent. I can learn all I want. I think of it as cultural humility. Like, we have to be more culturally humble. And the definition for cultural humility, and I will put it in the chat, is a lifelong process of self-reflection, self-critique, and respectful engagement that prioritizes understanding and valuing diverse cultural perspectives. Because to me, as a teacher, that is am I continuously self-reflecting about how am I setting up my classroom? Right? I may not understand this culture, especially if I'm in an urban school district and I'm a white teacher. I may not understand this culture fully, right? But how am I reflecting and taking feedback about the kinds of resources or books I have in my classroom? Do they look like the students that I am teaching? Are my examples, right? Like we talk about with kids engaged too. Your class is just boring. I sit in that class and I'm boring. Like, use current examples, use the NBA, use the NFL, use current, like, I mean, a lot of these rap artists, I don't know who they are. Half the time I don't know what they're saying anymore. Like, I don't. But if I got to get on a little TikTok trend or use a little TikTok trend in my classroom for math to stick, or you see the teachers now who are on beat with like Gracie's Corner in the classroom and making ABC songs, like if that's what I have to do to get my kids engaged, for them to understand what's happening, that is important. And knowing how to get families and parents involved, and self-reflecting on what am I doing? It can't just always be the parents need to do better, the students need to do better. I need to do better too.
Yes, 100%.
I'm gonna be looking for your next post titled "Don't Block Me." Okay, Nitza? I can't wait. So you tell all these teachers, and
I love that.
Like how you need to talk to these parents so they don't block you. Okay, I'm gonna be looking. I'm gonna look for the thread.
That's a great one. I'm gonna do that. I do think that they need a parents. No, it's two-sided to the blocking situation. One, back to like figure out what is the best mode of communication for your community. For the teacher side, the administrator side. Two, like the parent, on this example, they talk to the school, let them know, communicate with them too. They need to know, hey, I can't be called at these times, but I do want to be informed. Please send me a remind message, a dojo message, email. I can check it later and I'll get back to you. I will not be able to respond right away, but I'll get back to you. That might be an easier way to connect with them. But if the parent never tells the school, hey, this is what's going on, then the school can't make adjustments. It's just not possible. I don't know what I don't know. I can't help you or support you if you don't talk to me.
You don't know it.
Same thing with the kid. If there's a major change in your life, whether that is a sick parent, a new baby at home, maybe you lost your home. If you don't talk to anyone at the school, this is directly affecting your kid. Your kid might start lashing out. Now they're also calling you, trying to give you negative feedback, which is going to add to your stress. So again, if we come back and say, hey, this is the major change, is there for homelessness or food insecurities or whatever, is there an organization you guys maybe be able to connect with me to? Because the schools have that information. And if we don't, someone in that school is going to find out that information, because we care about your child. We care about you and your family. You don't go into education because you don't care about people. It's not a thing. So if you let us know and communicate, then we're able to help and support. But if we don't know, we're gonna be kind of enemies we're not even enemies. It's just like divorced parents that never talk. It's just like, hey, I don't like your dad. I don't like your mom. Like, where the only thing I like about them is this child, and that is it.
Right.
So if we could go into a co-parenting type, like a positive co-parenting type of environment with families and schools, then we're gonna be able to support more successfully. And I also want to note, when I say parent, I'm not just talking about the mom and dad that had the child. That could be aunt, uncle, grandma, foster parent. It doesn't matter. Well, whoever is that trusted adult in that and for that child is who I'm addressing.
No, so true. As she said, I once had a person interviewing for an after-school teacher position in a room full of inner city schools, and she started talking about hiking and sailing. She lost them immediately. They do not hike. Exactly. Like knowing your audience. And there's nothing wrong with hiking and sailing, and maybe something they'd want to talk about in the future. But
when you built the trust,
first meeting, exactly, that it ain't it. It ain't it.
Yeah. And if it's the first time you're introducing yourself, you can say like, hey, this is the things I like. I would love to know what you guys like. What is it that your family does for fun? And then you have an in, because again, you're sharing something about you, but you're also getting something from them. And it's going to help you connect more. I think we also, as people in general, educators especially, because we work with so many diverse groups, is understanding our I guess naivety, our prejudice, because we all have it. It's built into our systems. We might not feel like we're prejudiced in any way, but when we're watching TV, when we're interacting with the world, these subconscious things are coming in. So one of the things I took when I was in college, and I have retaken several times, is the Harvard, oh my goodness, I can't remember what it's called right now. But basically it's a test, and I'll find the link real quick and drop it in as well. It's a test where you see what your prejudices are. And it really it's really impactful because it's quick. It takes I think it's a 10-minute test, and it just like goes through people and things and visuals, and you're just answering at the end. It gives you your stats of what kind of, I get back to prejudices you have. And if you can understand that's what you feel subconsciously, you can start working on it. But if you don't know what things you're holding within yourself, you might be putting that on your students, on those families, and not even realizing it, especially when you're going into a different community outside of yours. It is so important that you know yourself, the implicit bias. Thank you. Your implicit biases. And understanding that is really helpful. And not just understanding it. You have to take a step forward and actually working on it, changing it, trying to understand this different culture in a positive way. Because a good example for me would be I had a lot of Asian students in my first year of teaching, and naive me, I'm just like, yeah, most Asians are really involved in school. They're really smart. And I'm like, that's just I'm falling into these things. But then I took a step back. I was just like, no, that's a stereotype. Not every student is going to be the same. Not every parent is going to be engaged. Some of the parents did call me, was just like, hey, my child is not feeling well. Is it okay if they miss school? And I'm just like, it's your kid. It's like, if they're not feeling well, like, no. But the other ones, they didn't contact me at all, even though I had reached out a few times. And understanding that culturally, they have certain things that are the same, but not every single person falls into that. And I needed to check myself instead of putting my feelings on them, because that's not true. What I'm seeing on TV, what I'm hearing on your media, and all of these things aren't accurate to every single person or every single community. Oftentimes it's wrong.
Yeah.
And
sometimes it's that communication things too. So like, what do you understand about that culture that maybe I'm reaching out to mom, but dad, or, whoever the male is in the family is the primary decision makers. Like, I'm sending everything to mom, and I'm wondering, why isn't mom responding to me? Well, because dad is the primary decision maker. So sometimes like knowing
Again,
like knowing your families and knowing your kids is so important. And there's a self-assessment I've been trying to find. Okay, sweetheart. Well, I'll figure it out in a little bit. Okay, give me like 15 minutes. Where I forgot. What? Listen,
you're talking about
Mom
implicit
brain.
bias community. You're fine. But there's a great comment. I could read it real quick. Great discussion, ladies. I completely agree. We must, and why can't I say that word? No, innovative and meaningful ways to empower parents and help them recognize the critical role they play in their child's academic success. Parent engagement should go beyond attending meetings or receiving progress reports. Parents are powerful partners in understanding their child's strengths, advocating for their needs, reinforcing learning at home, and holding schools accountable for providing the support their child deserves.
And then there might have been more, but it cut off.
Yeah, it cuts off.
Yeah.
That's 100%. I love that.
When we equip parents with the knowledge, resources, and confidence to become active partners in their child's education. There's more. You can scroll up on the link. That's okay. If you see the link in the comments, it is there for folks to read. That's a fabulous Brenda Marie. And I love what you're saying there. And I'm going to push it even further. And I want to hear from Scho this time. Tell me how we get our children, our students involved in the family. They need to see the value, because a lot of kids would be like, so listen, leave me alone. I'm home now.
Yeah. Yes, sweetheart. I know, sweetheart. I know. Give me 10, 15 minutes, okay? And then we'll be there. I think just asking the students those questions too, right? I think sometimes, especially when I think of like behavior supports and what happens, we're so quick to something happens with the kiddo. And as we immediately like, I need to contact parent, I need to figure this out, I need to figure that out. And we try to get everybody else's voices first without asking the kid first, right? Like, why are you struggling? Why are you having a hard time this morning? Well, because, example we gave earlier, I have to be up at 4 a.m. when my parent goes to work because they're going to work and I have to get all my siblings together and I'm tired and I haven't eaten. Right. Okay. But did we even ask the student or with communication? Hey, when things happen, how do you want me to communicate? Right. What are things that your parent would love to hear about you? What are things that you want me to tell your parent about your behavior during school? Right. Giving the student voice a chance, right? We always talk about student voice, but a lot of times, especially when things aren't going the way we want them to, or they're a little challenging, we skip completely over the student voice and are trying to figure out all these things for the student without any student input. So I think that's where a big,
all around them, but never to them.
Exactly.
Them, are we actually listening?
Yep.
There's a great company that they sell t-shirts with folks who are neurodiverse and they say, don't hear what I didn't say.
Love that. Yes. There's definitely a difference between hearing and listening.
Seriously. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I'm trying to find, so I did a training a long time ago, but for whatever reason now the PDF isn't working and I can't find it, but it was, I'm going to put it in the chat, but it was a document that was like a window for teachers into our progress and practices for culturally responsive and humble educators. So it was a self-assessment that kind of broke down what you did in your classroom. Yeah, hold on. In 4 components. So recognizing the educational impact, addressing demographic inequalities and achievement, building relationships across cultural differences, and adapting curriculum to reflect cultural diversity. But I loved it because it was a self-assessment that you had to tell yourself, like, are you a beginner? Are you developing? Are you proficient? Are you exemplary? And it was kind of you rating yourself in these categories and giving examples, and then some reflection questions afterwards. So I have like my presentation that I did that I will maybe kind of redo and send out, but I will really try to find that PDF so I can put the link in the chat and have it live in our section afterwards.
Yeah.
But that one was really great.
That's great. And
for
I
that
think
conversation.
and I definitely think that's going to be helpful for folks to take a peek at as an intro into the conversation. I want to ask.
I would love to take it, to be honest.
Right. I want to know, like, what am I actually thinking here? So I want to ask a question. So I met Nitza online. Look, I love this. I'm making the rounds online. And we just entered into a general conversation on LinkedIn. I was loving what Nitza was saying about how we are talking to families. It was a to families post, and I was like, oh man, this is real. Like, we're not just talking at them. Like, we really need to like be speaking with and engaging. And we hopped on a call, and now we're here. So I'm loving the information that you're sharing on LinkedIn. Tell us a little bit more about what you do, how you do it, and who you do it with.
So I work with schools in assessing their family engagement. How are they communicating with families? Are they coming in? Are the families engaged? So I help with that assessment. And then I help them build a program that fits their community. It's more of a framework because each community is very different, as we've discussed earlier. So how can we engage them? What is working right now that what you're doing? What can we change to support them? And how do we get at least a few of them at the beginning? Because again, this is a whole culture schools. How do we get some of those families to engage and help plan to get more of them to come in? Because if they feel like they're part of the foundation of planning, then we can get more of them to come and understand your school community, and so them feel like your school is actually part of their community. So I also do some workshops with teachers, to help them understand that family engagement is a pillar of success for school, not just an added bonus. It's not just like, hey, we're gonna do our little trunk or treat, our little fun activities, and that's it. No, that's just fun. That's cool. A lot of people are gonna show up, but how can we make sure that they feel like their voices are heard, supported? We do these planning process, and then the teachers get that education. And sometimes I also do workshops for parents one-on-one if the schools want me to do that, to educate them on how to engage with the schools. So that's different ways that we work together, but it's definitely assessment first, then planning, then supporting in the different capacities, whether it's retraining teachers or training families or both.
That's wow. So just to be clear,
thank you.
We're going to run that back. We're going to have you drop all of your socials and links and information in the chat before we hop off.
We're frozen again. I don't know if you can still hear me.
Mommy, what did
yes, we can hear you.
Mommy, what did your password?
Tell me a little bit more about how you got
What's your
here.
password?
How did you get to this role in supporting families?
You said run that back.
No, not run it back. I said tell me how you got here. Like, how did you get to this position? What about your career or experience got you here today?
So I have over 10 years experience in education and community health. My first few years teaching, I became a chair of my grade level. I became the union rep. I did a whole bunch of stuff. My principal asked me support on family engagement, so I helped planning on that. And then when I transitioned out of the actual formal education, I became a community health educator, where I was engaging with families and understanding how to communicate their health topics with their children and adolescents. So I was connecting with schools and local organizations. And through that, I was just like, wait, the pillar of everything are families. Like, the success of a school community and just children, our family. And so I started building individually, first in Florida, and how to engage with families and talking to them and connecting with them. And here now in Virginia, I just launched into my own business, Kinected Coaching. And I've been supporting schools and districts and families ever since.
I love that. I loved your trajectory. So you've been in the classroom, you've been in the community, right? So you've been on both ends of this. So you're bringing that lived experience to the work. Oh, I truly appreciate that. Shout out to Coach Scho today, who was parenting and podcasting. I love it. So one of the things we talked about when we developed this is we wanted to go live. Like, some folks record their podcasts in advance, but we are both, parents and entrepreneurs, and we were like, this is real life. Like, I don't know when we're actually going to ever find a time to be consistently to record our media. So that's actually how we landed on just like, we're going to pick a date in the week and we're going to go live.
And we're going to do it no matter what happens. We might be late. We might be just getting out the shower. We might be in the middle of trying to figure out kids' schedules, as you can see. Yeah, we just real life
is, and I just want to say we chose this. And it's representing the community that you're actually working with, right? These are the working parents, folks that work for themselves, that also have to deal with our schedules, right? And so we have a bunch of these schedules, like Scho and I were just talking about Christopher's, new kindergarten year, like new school, new transition, new people. How many wacky sock days do I need to plan for, right? And who told me what 40-page document going back? I'm running this all the way back. What 40-page document I was reading? I appreciate the schools that are already sending emails. We don't start till after Labor Day, but I'm already seeing the parent square messages and like, hey, you need to, hey, so you know the school calendar is out. Just so you know the busing routes are out. Just so you know what I mean. And I'm like, okay, like drip it to me because life, right? And
one recommendation, any schools out there that I think would be great, turn some of your messages into like a audio form, like either having some leader record the message or have some sort of YouTube channel, because sometimes it's hard when I am trying to multitask, which I think any parent worldwide does, to then take time. As soon as I see something that's more than a paragraph or two, I'm already like, yup, I'm gonna read this when I have time, right? It's an automatic, I'm closing my phone out. I will read this when I have time, but I never have time. Okay, I have time when I'm sleeping. And even then there's a million tabs open in my head. But say you record a YouTube video, I could easily turn that on and listen to it while I'm cooking, while I'm doing laundry, while I'm doing other things, and still getting the same information that still will prompt me, okay, I need to make sure I get back to this email and click this link to sign it or whatever I need to do. But now I'm listening to it. And then that also helps with some parents who maybe can't read, and that's not a knock, that's just the reality sometimes. I can still get this information and not feel bad about disclosing that I can't read, because maybe that's something I don't want to tell you because that's embarrassing, or I feel some kind of way about that, to tell my kid's teacher that I can't read. So just a quick tidbit for schools, that maybe put your stuff on audio platform as well, because it might be easier to understand.
There's a superintendent in Hartford, Connecticut, who
just
went live, and basically transitioning ninth graders, right? A huge group of families and parents that you gotta connect, because high school looks different, right? And he popped on LinkedIn and was like, let me tell you about your attendance now.
His stuff is great.
I need to follow this person. Who is it?
Great.
Dr. Andre Townsend.
Oh my God, his stuff is great.
Oh, I love him. Yes. He's great.
So shout out to Hartford, Connecticut. And listen, they're hometown adjacent for me. I'm from Western Mass, Hartford, 20 minutes away. So Hartford, I have a lot of Hartford friends down there. So shout out to Hartford Public Schools. Shout out to Dr. Andre.
Great.
Hey, let me get in your faces right now before the summer wraps up. Let me let y'all know. Start playing it down so y'all can get there.
Exactly. And if this message gets to him, if you want to come and hop on this podcast and talk about what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? holla at us, okay?
Here for it.
So we are close to ending, and we are ending our section with a rapid fire that we started, Nitza. So, hope you're ready. So the first part of this is you are going to complete this sentence. Okay, so I'm going to give you a sentence starter, and you have to complete it. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Family engagement starts with
positive communication.
Ooh.
Every educator should ask families
about their family life beyond surface level. Actually inquire about the family dynamics.
All right. Families need more
trust, a partnership type of communication, not just being spoken at.
Spoken at. That is a big one. Community partnerships should be.
Community partnerships should be part of the community and giving positive information and foundations to that community.
Love it. The most overlooked voice in a school is.
The most overlooked voice. We didn't touch on this at all, but my opinion is the custodial staff.
Ooh, the most overlooked voice in a school. I love it.
Yeah, they're so important. They see so many things that we miss, and we could not function without them, but we tend to not ask them things, and we don't. Yeah, but I miss Mr. Anthony in my old school. He was so cool. But yeah.
And they see a lot. They see a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me think of, I laughed, it also makes me think of Abbott Elementary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great show.
Like Mr. Johnson, he knows all the tea.
Mr. Johnson knows everything.
Yep, he's got
everything.
That historical knowledge is everything.
Exactly.
Yep.
Oh.
The biggest misconception about families is
when they're quiet, that they don't care.
So now we're going to end with a question. If a school gave you 1 day to improve family engagement with no additional budget, okay, so they don't give you a budget, but in 1 day they want you to improve family engagement, what would you do first?
I don't have to do it. They're just giving it to me today, and I have like 2 days to work on it, because I would be doing an assessment first, assessing what it looks like, what their schools, teachers, and families are doing, and what they've already done. And then I would do specifically a teacher training or a staff training on family engagement, the foundation, to help them understand why it's so important.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like a lot of times the answer is, well, like you said, I'm going to do a training. We need to do this. We need to do X. We need to do this. I see this a lot with behaviors too, with unwanted or challenging behaviors. But then I'm like, okay, so tell me about the problem. What is the current state? And it's like, well, they're having issues. Okay, well, what did the kiddo say? What did the parents say? What did, and the same thing, right? Before you can add additional trainings, what does the current relationship actually look like? And did you ask all the voices? So I love that. So we are at time already. Can't believe it. Overtime, which I feel like tends to happen every time, because we could
and that's why
talk about this forever. Exactly. We could talk about this forever. So we would really love to know, is there anything you have coming up that you want the people to know? that any events or any resources or your website or anything that you want to drop?
I will drop on my landing page. I'm working on developing my website right now, so that should be coming up in the next month or two. I'm so excited. But I have a free guide on my LinkedIn. It's called BRB. It stands for Breathe. It's just a helpful tip for families, teachers, yourself, and you can use it whenever you're having conversations.
Oh, good. Love that. I
Thank
love
you.
that. What about you, Coach? What is going on with you?
So I have a few exciting things to share. The first one that I will put in the chat is some ladies and I, some of you that you may know, Agnes, Dr. Tamika Payne, Agnes Alio-Bois, Sheena Hogue, and Candy Boyce. We are hosting an Intentional Impact Summit. So it's going to be an educator summit on inclusion, culture, instruction, and leadership. So it's going to be kind of an all-day summit on August the 22nd. So I will make sure to drop the link about that. We are super excited about that. That's something randomly we thought about at a conference. We were like, oh my God, wouldn't it be great if educators had a conference where we talked a lot about a lot of things that we talked about and, you know, just being authentic and being us. And then we were like, well, why don't we just do it? Let's create our own thing and do it. So I have that in the works. And then an exciting thing for me, I am starting to build out a course platform, more specifically for registered behavior technicians, so the RBTs in the behavior field, and for educators, affordable courses. So, you know, as much as I would love to charge, you know, like $20 per class, it doesn't make sense, right? Financially, but just courses, talking about, you know, a lot of times teachers need to manage behavior and behavior supports, but they don't really know the fundamentals. They weren't taught the fundamentals. That's not something that really gets taught in grad programs or during onboarding. So I wanted to start creating some asynchronous online courses for educators and RBTs to have access to. So I have 3 courses up now. So, you know, your girl is just getting started, but the goal is every month to add a class or two, or course or two to the platform. So I will also put that in the chat. I'm super excited about that.
I love that. Oh,
Yeah.
you bringing your skills directly to the people. Talk about it. Okay.
What you got going on?
Listen, we got it all going on. Okay. So I'm taking another break. No, I can't even hold you. I'm going on vacation again. So
you go, girl. That's
so taking a quick little break. But I will see you during that break, and not because I'm interrupting my vacation, but listen, we have a special episode coming up.
We do number 10, 10. And listen, y'all, we still don't have it figured out. Okay. But we still going to celebrate that number 10. Okay. Hello. We still don't have it all figured out.
We turning up, and then we're going to see each other in Atlanta a couple weeks later, and we're going live from Atlanta.
Yes, we will. Ooh. Big Nashville. We'll see you there. Yes. Big Nashville.
And so I have, my workshops are always running virtually. Feel free to hop in to our Hidden Leadership Workshop. You can always grab a seat for the next session. We'd love to see you there. In addition to that, I drop my links, my websites, all the things. You can find me right in the chat. And I am running an e-course. And so let me come into your inbox and have a chat with you. So I'm running an e-course called Data to Decisions, and I am supporting leaders, district leaders, school leaders, and connecting their social, emotional, and student support data to their academic data so we can actually make, right? So we can see that academic achievement start to skyrocket. I know folks cite the data. I know folks look at the data, but how are you actually using it and implementing it to help actually drive that change in your communities? Yes. And so that's what I want to help folks do. So I created an e-course, girl. I'm trying to get good on camera. And so it's a video e-course, like you recommended. I'm getting right in your inbox and you're going to see dropping gems and resources and some tools. So I'm actually sharing some really good stuff with you guys. So I've dropped the link in the chat. Please check it out. Data to Decisions enrollment is open through August 31st. So we are wrapping up the semester course. I'm dropping it in semesters. So, and it's just 5 days. It's super quick and you're going to get everything.
Love it.
Go, girl. Both of you.
We're trying. This is your push. If you're listening to us, like you ain't got to have it all figured out.
No,
you do not have to have it all figured out. You just got to be in motion. All right. Just do something. Get out there and do something.
Get out here and do something. I love that. Isn't that a song? Isn't that like an 80s rap song? Don't let me age myself.
It should be if it's not.
Maybe.
Get out and do something. It's listen.
Maybe
now all the hip hop heads gonna come in here and be like, Sherann, you knew better than that. My husband will comment later, like, girl, don't do that. Don't mess up a good song.
I know, right? Thank you, Sue Allen. First time here. I love and appreciate your energy and support of parents. Thank you. If it is your first time here, or you want to listen to other conversations that we have had in the past, since this is episode 9, we have had 8 other wonderful conversations. We will make sure to drop that link in the chat too. If you're like, hey, I do love these ladies and I would love to listen more, we will make sure to drop that chat for you.
All right.
Drop that in the chat before we
that is Nitza's card. You can connect with
Thank you.
And it's in the comments. So if you read it back or folks see this later, you'll see the comments. So I'm playing them on the stage. What's one takeaway you want to offer us when you think about behavior and you think about family engagement? We're going to give you the closing word today.
That's one takeaway. I would say to listen, to understand, and then support. Do not put your assumptions first. Do not say this is what our community needs. That might not be it. So listen first. And I also would recommend, since it's the beginning of the school year, maybe trying to send a survey of sorts to the families to find out what worked when it came to communication last year, what they wish that could be improved, any activities or things that they would like support in, whether that's literacy, it could be for adult literacy, your children's literacy, it could be more fun events, it could be maybe child development and how to communicate. What are things that your community actually wants that they would come to? And then at the end also say, hey, put your information here if you would like to be part of a planning committee. And last part is, if you are changing your culture in the school when it comes to family engagement, there might be only a few that show up at the beginning, but keep at it. The consistency will grow and the trust will build. But if you haven't done it before, you can't expect them to trust and know that this is going to be there all the time. It's going to take time, but you got this.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you for that. That's dropping gems. So it's it's school time for so many. Some folks are still summering. Some folks gear up for September. But thank you all for joining and popping in with us today for this live next big live. Shout out to Sherann Ali. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, that's my mom.
Hey mom.
Hi.
And my mom is a 52-year veteran educator. Elementary.
Shout out to educators.
I got chills. That's amazing.
She retired and still goes back 4 days a week. So shout out to the Brightwood School Elementary Community in Springfield, Mass, who love having Miss Nolly on in supporting the community. And if you haven't heard, listen, I share this all the time. She was on the Jennifer Hudson show last year, and from her first year of teaching kindergarten. From her first year of teaching.
Wow.
Before I was born, but the 70s surprised her on the show.
Well, see, look, so I think when you post this show on LinkedIn and social media, we need to see a clip. Okay. We need to attach a clip.
Well,
yeah.
My listen.
For the J HUD.
You know your next post and what's going to be? Shout out to
Exactly.
mama.
J HUD with my mama.
And I get it from my mama. Don't
Uh-huh.
But shout out to Miss Nolly. Shout out to the Brightwood community and the J Hut Show, honestly. And to Miss Olga, who is a school counselor out in Colorado now. So she followed her education footsteps. Y'all watched the episode, girl. I was in tears in the audience. Just zoomed past me. I was like, oh my God.
Listen, girl, drop the link on the platforms.
I will.
Yes, I would love
and
it.
And then shout out to Nitza for joining us today. Thank you. I'm sure we could have talked about for way more hours. And we'd love to have you back on for round 2 at some point in time. So
just reach out.
Sounds good. Well, thank you, ladies.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
See you in 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness.